Good afternoon, and I will be brief as we have another meeting. But before, I would like to say hello to a new colleague from Deutsche Presse Agentur, who is with Benno here today. So welcome, or willkommen. I will start today with some updates for you, as many of you have asked me for the list of participants in the high-level meeting on climate action next week on 26th of October. As you know, this meeting is being convened by the PGA. President Abdulla Shahid will convene the high-level meeting delivering climate action for people, planet, and prosperity on 26th of October. This will be a hybrid event in New York in two segments from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. ahead of COP26. Apart from head of states and governments, the opening segment will also have a message by the Secretary General in person and a recorded video on UNICEF Youth Advocates. The PGA has been engaging with young activists and speaking to young people and students, and will continue to do so also during his official travels to listen to their suggestions on the climate emergency. The first segment at 10:45 a.m. will be a discussion on taking stock of the road to COP26. The high-level meeting will also include representatives of the private sector, UN agencies and partners, the academia and civil society. The final segment in the afternoon will be about mobilizing responses by the entire society. As you know, this will take place and the focus is on the gap between current and required technical and financial capacities to achieve the 1.5 degrees Celsius target, and how this gap can be met through showcasing best practices. Mr. Abdulla Shahid has issued a tweet today expressing his condolences to the family and friends of former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell. Mr. Shahid said he was deeply saddened to hear of the passing of the former U.S. Secretary of State. He said also that Secretary Powell was a visionary leader and a statesman who dedicated his life to serving the American people. And over the weekend, the PGA delivered two video messages, one on the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty yesterday. As you know, Mr. Shahid said that for the 1.3 billion people in poverty and more than 100 million people in extreme poverty, the pandemic was salt on a wound, exacerbating already tenuous conditions. For the PGA, the pandemic has given us all an opportunity to rebuild better and to commit to a recovery that not only builds back better, but particularly for those who have suffered the most. Mr. Shahid said he would, or we would rather, all work together to put an end to poverty. And on a second video, the PGA spoke at the inaugural zero-gravity parabolic flight aimed at advancing disability inclusion in space exploration. The event was organized by the Royal Academy of Science International Trust and Astro Access. And yesterday, 12 professionals, scientists, veterans, engineers, and artists with vision, mobility, and hearing disabilities tested the design for accessibility in zero-gravity and high-gravity environments, carrying on that experiment. And finally, on the PGA's agenda, Mr. Shahid met this morning with Judge Carmel Agios, president of the International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals. Later, he talked to permanent representatives belonging to the Uniting for Consensus group. This afternoon, he will grant an interview to Xinhua News Agency and also hold separate bilateral meetings with His Excellency Mr. Csaba Korosi, former representative of Hungary to the UN. And late afternoon, the PGA will meet at his office Mr. Mark Sussman, CEO of the Gates Foundation. This is everything that I have for today. Do you have anything else here in the room or there on the screen? Okay, Edie, and then afterwards I have, if you are on the screen, could you please speak up so I know that you want to ask a question, okay?
Monica, is there a list of the heads of state who will be attending the PGA's high-level meeting?
Yes, we do have this, and we intend to finalize it and bring it to you perhaps tomorrow or at the latest on Wednesday. The heads of state and government have been, the PGA is very grateful that they have been responding, and we have confirmations, several dozens of confirmations, but we would like to bring a consolidated and, of course, updated list for you. And the PGA will be, of course, interacting with them, but also this is a meeting where the PGA has been asking for a more committed, a more ambitious commitment ahead of COP26, as we have no time to lose. So this is everything. If I don't have anyone on the screen, I would say thank you very much.
I have a question, please. Sorry.
You do. So
hi, this is
please.
Karen from Le Monde and RFI, right? Radio France International. Very happy to see you.
Very nice meeting you too.
Can we quickly know what's the object of the meeting with the GATE CEO, please?
Sure. The PGA has an agenda that has, I'm not sure if you're familiar about or with, but has what we call the 5 rays of hope. And in this agenda, his first ray of hope is bringing, recovering from the pandemic and bringing and taking vaccines for all who need around the world. But also he's focusing on delivering for climate action. That's one of his focuses in this presidency, what he calls the presidency of hope. And together with these priorities that he has and others, he is, of course, holding meetings and conversations and possibilities of cooperation with all, basically. It's a collective effort. So he's talking, of course, to member states, but he's talking to civil society, to the private sector. And you are familiar, for sure, with the work that several foundations have been doing, several organizations, including the Gates Foundation. And they will be talking about relevant topics and common interests. However, we will bring more for you and for the ones who are interested in the next briefings, probably tomorrow. But thank you for your question. It's nice to see you too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so the next briefing with the rapporteur, and I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yes.
Monica?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, hi, sorry. Hi, it's James Reinl here. I just wanted to do a very quick question at the end.
Sure.
I'm wondering, do we have any idea of a date for the meeting of the Credentials Committee, which is going to be deciding about the Afghanistan and Myanmar envoys? Anything in the diary we can put down yet?
Yes, James, we have been getting this question a lot, and we remain on what we said before, that the meeting as is expected, as you know, for November, but we cannot say that for sure, or the date, specific date that this will take place, as this is a decision for the 9 members of the Credentials Committee. And so I gave the list here last week. I probably will say it again, so that is for the benefit of all colleagues that weren't here last week. So the members of the 9 members of this Credentials Committee are the USA, China, Russia, Bhutan, Bahamas, Chile, Namibia, Sierra Leone, and Sweden as the chair. So that's everything we have for now. This announcement was made on the 14th of September, as you may recall, and as soon as we have an exact date, we'll definitely inform you. I know it's a big interest, and I am aware of it. I know it's important. Okay, Benno.
Just a technical follow-up on this. Sweden as the chair, is in your opinion, or how do you see it? Are they obliged to tell reporters if they ask if they have a date to actually, like, are they obliged to tell the date then? Because right now I was not very lucky with them.
Well, this is a decision about the date of meeting, and as we said, usually it happens in November. The recommendations are made by December, but the decision of picking a date and deciding when to meet is a decision by member states. And of course, there are 9 member states in the Credentials Committee, and I would say I would refer you to the mission in question. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I know. Thank you. I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.